Greetings and namaste. This is Shiva, your friendly neighborhood wellness philosopher and guide, coming at you with our mission, right? Wellness for all. Wellness for you, wellness for me, wellness for everything and everyone we touch. Wellness has a system. Yeah, sure, it can be a happenstance thing, but if we have a choice, I would imagine we want to have some sort of greater engagement in the process of how we are choosing wellness over its absence, or more importantly, dis-ease or illness. So one of the things that I have found has been really helpful for me is to have a wellness friend or friends. So wellness friends can be people, like a gym buddy who shows up at the same time as we do, and maybe together we go through a set of exercises, strengthen our bodies. Could be a person meeting us at the lake or park to say, okay, let's run a few times, and that way we're both doing what we love, but in a more social manner. So when I think of why this system works, there's many reasons, there's many aspects to this. And if you just look at the word friends and think of it as an acronym, F, first word, what does that conjure up for you in terms of the wellness equation? F could stand for fun. When we're with someone, whether it's one person or two or four or a group, it's more fun, isn't it? It's a social experience. We kind of get to connect with other like-minded people or like-bodied people that are interested in some of the same things we are. Better health, a more experiential use of our time, a nourishing of our body, what helps us get out of bed in the morning, what helps us walk from one place to the other, what helps us jump high in the air when we're happy. So that's the F, maybe for fun, right? Moving on to the R. What could R stand for? Well, R could be regular. I can tell you, when I had a friend that I knew was going to meet me at the lake to run around the lake, I would show up. The interesting thing is this relationship that I had, and that's what R can stand for, right? A regular relationship is pretty amazing when you think of it. So in my case, when I was running more, I'm not running quite as much anymore. I kind of do a little more balanced workout that's appropriate for my body type, my mental clarity, and some of the deeper practices of yoga and 𝐷𝐢𝐫𝐬𝐿. But some years back when I was running around the lakes a little more than I am right now, I had a friend who said, let's run around the lake. In fact, I had more than one friend. I had a few, and every now and then we'd run around different lakes. But this one friend I remember in particular that would be full of beans. He'd be all about running, and he'd say, okay, let's meet at 5:30 or 6, and I would basically make sure I got my work done on time, and I got back home, had something to eat or drink or whatever, so I was fueled up. And I also managed to sneak in a little nap. Sometimes it was just 15 minutes. It was one of those power naps. Set the alarm at that point, and I'd wake up to the alarm feeling a little groggy, but not too much, because I was right in that zone where all systems are shutting down versus there was still some battery left. So I would get up, go out to meet him. If I had time, I'd bike there. If I was running close to the wire, then I'd drive my car there. But that was a pretty amazing regularity that I developed during that time. So that's the R, right? Let's come to the I. What does the I bring for you? Huh? I can't hear you. I can be so many things, right? It can be the I in, as in I, It's the I in the friends. It's not about just them or just us. It is about us and them. It's about the I that becomes a bigger I because we're coming together. It's like, two I's coming into one, or more than two. And that just becomes a bigger I, an uppercase I, and then it becomes a bold I, and then it becomes, a 36-point I in terms of font size. And you go from there. So it's just this really I-ness that becomes bigger than just this one I. And I could also mean interesting. When we turn up to meet a friend, or we turn up in a new environment, like I said, your wellness friend doesn't have to be a person. It could be a place. It could be a particular way of looking at that place. So if you turn up in a new part of town, in a park maybe that you haven't yet discovered, or a part of your backyard even that it doesn't really get as much use as some other parts, you might find you're looking at things differently. And sometimes you just kind of look up at the sky. I do this every now and then, and I wonder, I don't look up at the sky that much, kind of looking in front of me, like that's the only place my eyes can go. No, if I look up at the sky and I continue to maybe do what I'm doing, maybe it's just a body weight squat, or maybe it's a bicycle crunch or something like that, or just lying on the yoga mat, doing some reclining twists. Hey, looking at the sky is pretty inspiring. It's like vast, and it's always changing. Even if it's still, you can kind of discern those little movements. There's the birds flying overhead. Watch out for droppings. But yeah, think about the I and what it brings up for you. Let's move on to the N. So for me, I think of N as in nurturing. When I have a wellness friendship happening, I have a connection happening with someone or something, or some place, or some time, or some space, or a certain feeling, a touch, taste, texture, a sound even. I start to nurture myself in different ways. I start to expand my senses into new levels of awareness and connection. And the mind and its chatter and the to-do list kind of really gets pushed into the background. Thanks God, right? Who needs more of that? And then you really sort of are in the moment, you're present. So that's really nurturing time. Moving on to the D. The D is kind of, I think, more of a discipline thing. If you think of especially a friend or a certain time that you set that is sacred, right? That you're saying, I'm going to show up no matter what, or I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to be there. Because sometimes we need the discipline. Sometimes we provide the discipline, right? And that's the beauty of this friendship, this time, place, person, thing, that we can cultivate this discipline of them being there for us and us being there for them. On the days I'm not feeling like a run, we might not run. We might just walk. We might stroll, and then we might break out into a jog, or not. And maybe that jog becomes a run, or not. But the fact that we showed up, you get the check mark for discipline for sure, right? So nothing meaningful really gets done without discipline. If you want to master anything, and most importantly, I'd say if I want to master myself, discipline is kind of key. I got to show up for that. I got to do it regularly. I got to enjoy it. I got to witness the new discoveries. I got to witness the setbacks. But I got to keep going. I got to trust in the process, right? All right, let's make it plural, right? Let's make it friends. So S, what does S bring up? I think a key thing, kind of touched on this in the last discipline piece, is sacred, safe space. So you got 3 S's there. How about that? So establishing this relationship, this friendship, gives us a safe, sacred space to show up and know that we'll be honored the way we are that day. I know when I come into the backyard, some days I'm just like, I didn't really sleep well last night. My daughter came in, she had to pee, and then she had to be put back into her bed by her mom, but then she came again, and this time mom was too tired, so she snuggled into bed, and then I moved to be with my son, who was alone in his room because I didn't want him to be alone with his sister gone. And so maybe that night wasn't great, and then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to really get up and do my Brahma Muhurat routine today, and I'm gonna sleep in. Fine. That's what I need to do. I did it. I might feel some sort of guilt later on, some sort of lost opportunity, but the fact is that at some point in the day, I will eventually end up doing the workout. I will eventually show up. It might not be the same as the morning crisp air, but I'll get a different experience. I'll know how to value that more. I might set up my space differently, so I'm more successful in getting to where I need to be. So that's it, friends. Think about the acronym if that helps you, but really I invite you to go out there and seek the friends that nourish these different dimensions of your wellness. We kind of focus more on the physical, but maybe you have soul friends. You have friends who are conscious. You have friends that are more emotional pillars for you. Maybe be the pillar for them too. Let's return the favor. Of course, the physical piece. Go out for that walk. Go out for that run. Go just dance like crazy, and celebrate friendship. So on that note, this is Shiva signing off. Wellness for all. Keep up the good work.